What if the mountains we climb are actually the bodies of giants?
Submitted to the...
They never say that. Bro.
I went to the hospital, I had pneumonia, and they accidentally gave me the hospital bill of everything that they used on me.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there's having a good day, y'all. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That really helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's do what we all came here for. Let's get into the video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
They asked this man, Bill Clinton, why did Epstein say you like him young? This man couldn't even get his words out. He was like, first of all, and then he stopped. He was like, first of all, I don't like underage girls. She said, I didn't say underage.
Is that Epstein said, you quote, like them young. Why would Epstein say that about you? Why would Epstein say that about you?
She's asking you to try to be in Mr. Epstein's mind and guess at what Mr. Epstein would have thought about.
Clinton likes them young, referring to girls.
First of all, that's not true.
What's not true?
That I have any interest in underage.
I didn't say underage. I said young.
But it's still not true.
Is an intern young?
He said that last part quick once he noticed. He said underage girls, and she said not underage. He said, and that's still not true. Then that boy started shaking like a stripper, fool. He was trying to drink his little tea, coffee, or whatever he had in that little mug, and his hands was like, maybe he got Parkinson's, or maybe he lying.
The Roman gods, they're giving honors to the Roman gods with the days of the week. That's what I'm telling you. It is a religion. Sunday is the day of the sun. Monday, the day of the moon. Tuesday is the god of war, Mars. Wednesday is Odin, Roman god of Mercury. Thursday, the reminiscence of Jupiter. It was Thor. I was told it was Thor, so there it is. The word thunder, Thor, Thursday. Friday, Venus, the goddess of love. Saturday, Saturn. Y'all following me? Let me know if that makes sense. You understand why I'm bringing this up now?
Yeah, they've lost their minds with tipping, right? So if I'm going to Chipotle, no, sorry, I'm not tipping you for scooping the rice into my bowl while I stand in line. If I'm standing in line, I'm not tipping anyone. I'm sorry.
It's so much, and they guilt trip you into tip. It's going to ask you a question, and then they look away. And then you're kind of like guilt tripped into leaving like at least $1. And who gets that $1? I have no idea. It probably goes to corporate.
I did. We've been watching for an hour. It's definitely not Starlink.
Yeah, it's just a group of about 5 UFOs out there.
Looks pretty stationary, but it's a light and it keeps getting brighter. I hope it's not heading right towards me.
We just saw 3 very bright, fast-moving lights about, like, it looks like 10 miles from us. Is there a radar return over there? Oh, they're back again for Riddle 4. That actually, I think that is a UFO.
Riddle 4, Roger. Maybe get the video, I guess. Yeah, we don't see that. I'll pass along to my supervisor. Before it was above or below you?
It was slightly above us for Riddle 4.
One off the top, you got some traffic off my right side above me.
Off your right side, I have no aircraft, no targets at all.
Oh, I think I found the UFO.
Go! Done!
Can you imagine behind enemy lines like that?
Muhammad!
Like, this is what I'm saying, y'all. Like, these politicians, like these Trumps, come on here and say soldiers are gonna die. That's part of war. He's saying that from his $1 billion mansion and his $1 million suit. His kids are nice and tucked in their bed, and somebody's kid is over there fighting for what he believes is right. Who knows what we're fighting for? It definitely ain't for nukes, and they definitely weren't going to attack. There's no proof of that. They didn't show us proof of that. And we got somebody on their knees begging, and no one's going to come and save them, y'all. I mean, hopefully one day. I think they let him go, but I'm saying if they didn't, no one's gonna come and save him. Who knows what they're gonna do to that dude? Over what? Over what? What's going to come from this? What came from Iraq and Afghanistan? What came from that? Nothing. Nothing came from that. See, they were cool after he said American, but like, what if it wasn't? Like, he's shit out of luck, y'all. They shoot you down, you're screwed. Like, what is all this for? What is it for? Someone's getting rich off it. That's what it's for. It's for money.
We are watching the biggest show of force probably in American history. And the world is changing rapidly. Everybody needs to know that the whole purpose of ICE was not targeting the guys working at Home Depot. The fact of the matter is, there are several situations where C4, police uniforms, firefighter uniforms, rifles are found in certain locations by terror cells that's operating in secret. This is what ICE is doing all of this for, to combat trafficking as well. Let me ask you this, Cam. How many people said that we was not gonna see no conflicts?
A lot of people said we weren't going to have any conflicts.
And I was saying right here that it was coming. And this is why these interviews are important, because people trust on Cam Capone, true journalistic perspective, and they gonna get the facts.
Somebody made an app that lets you track everything going on in the world, bro. You got Middle East, Europe, America, world news, Africa news, bro. What? You can track the number of fires going on right now? Wait, Telegram intel? What is this? Stablecoin, Bitcoin tracker, crypto tracker, and 2 destroyers in Iran right now. What?
Well, if you're, I hate to tell people this, if you're hunting deer in Wisconsin, okay, I have a lot of friends that hunt deer in Wisconsin, you're probably not eating organic meat, because those deer they're eating GMOs.
They're eating trash.
Those deer are eating GMO corn. They're eating GMO soybeans, perhaps, that if it was certified organic, you wouldn't be able to feed it. Like, you can't control what that thing's eating.
Yeah.
If he could be raiding, he could be raiding old lady Thompson's garden where she just sprayed a bunch of glyphosate. You don't know what it ate. It's a wild animal. So people be like, oh, it's organic. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of places you can, you kill a caribou on the North Slope of, Alaska, some bitch is purely organic. But a lot of game meat's not organic. Migratory waterfowl, that's a tough claim to make, that it's organic. But it just feels good, because everything we eat, when we're sitting around eating, everything we eat is like a story. It's a celebration, and we always acknowledge this is Rosemary's deer, right? And if I don't bring it up, the kids will bring it up.
That's pretty cool.
Whose deer is this? This is Rosemary's deer.
By April, we will have a federal definition of ultra-processed foods. First time in history. And as soon as we do that, we're going to do front of package food labeling. So every food in your grocery store will have a label on it. It'll have maybe a green light, a red light, or a yellow light.
What is that going to do?
Telling you whether or not
going to do?
It's going to be good for you.
Oh, wow.
And that,
wow.
and it's going to evaluate all of the ingredients, etc. So, I think we're not going to change this overnight, but we're going to change it pretty quickly. And if you want to be healthy, we're going to give you the information to take control of your own health.
Yeah, it's going to do nothing. It's going to do nothing, y'all. They made the naked chips, and they're not even on the chip aisle. They're like where you check out. Or they're like tucked away in a corner. They're not even on the chip aisle. You don't even see the naked chips on the chip aisle. They're like by the diaper section. When I go, buy the baby diapers, they're like way back over there. They can put a red light, green. They need to get rid of these foods. Why are they allowing these foods? It's because the pharmaceutical companies, the hospitals, they're the ones that run it. They're the ones that run it. Because if they get rid of all those, that all shuts down. Insurance is shut down. The people that pay these politicians, like, you're going to put a red light, a green light, a yellow light on our food. No one's going to care, y'all. No one's going to care. No one.
Harvest, let me tell you about them motherfuckers.
What?
They've been living there for 50 years, bro. They do not move out. The kids take over that bitch. I got aunties in Flatbush in Brooklyn, bro. They been living in that same, I don't know if it's a 2 or 3. Had about 5 kids. They all grown. And she's still in that bitch.
Did you guys watch that recent interview where an inmate claims that Carmen Salinas is worse than Epstein himself? The topic came up on this podcast Penitencia, where Beto, who's been incarcerated for the last 18 years, made some pretty shocking allegations. According to him, at just 9 years old, he was allegedly hired to befriend children and gain their trust, only to lure them away and sell them to politicians and other powerful people around the world. He claims that these children are used specifically for satanic rituals in Catemaco, Veracruz. And for those who don't know, Catemaco is basically referred to as the witchcraft capital of Mexico, a place where rituals for money, power, and fame are performed. They say black masses take place here, and the people attending are very wealthy and influential. And over the years, different celebrities have allegedly been rumored to come here to harvest adrenochrome. But anyways, during the interview, he calls out Carmen Salinas by her name, saying she was the one buying these kids. And if you're Latino, then you definitely know who he's talking about. She was an actress, comedian, producer, and even a politician later in her life.
I just received insane information. What you see right beside me, this is, I believe, Tel Aviv right now. Just wait for the most insane part of this video. At the same time, we have 10, 15 different countries all involved in this entire war right now. Not to mention, we have even more people seeming to be entering the war. We have US embassies blown up. We have bases blown up. We even have Iran claiming to have wiped out 150 US military in one of these bases. The craziest part is that I just got word that allegedly United States and possibly Israel are going to try to completely wipe Iran out over the next 24 hours. But you want to know what's really weird about that? This is a giant Purim just started. Not just that, in a few hours from now, look at all the damage everywhere. In just a few hours from now, we have the 3:33 a.m. lunar eclipse. As I speculated days ago that this would be the eclipse of war, right? Everyone's telling me I was wrong, that it's actually indeed what it is. And it seems we're about to have a major event in the next 24 hours. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, it looks like we're about to have boots on the ground. Yeah, you heard that right. The US is probably going to send troops into Iran. Oh, and one more thing. The news, of course, right? Who could tell? The news is lying to you. I keep seeing all this stuff about all these Iranians that are celebrating and happy. That's only half the truth. The other half, the entire other half of the country is all chanting death to America.
What does he? Like, I really want to know, what do you guys think about this whole war thing? Are you guys for it or are you against it? If you're for it, why are you for it? Because I'm not falling for this again. If they're telling us we're there because they were going to bomb our assets, they were going to bomb these things, they have weapons of mass destruction. I mean, we fell for this back in 2001. So I'm not falling for this again because there's no proof of that. They're not telling the people where the proof is of these weapons of mass destructions are, where these nukes are. So why are we going to war with them? Why are we going to war with Israel? I think we got a clip coming up today that every single president, Israel has been trying to tell them to bomb Iran. If it might be this next clip. If not, I know we got a clip coming up today of that. So this has been going on. Israel has been wanting us to bomb Iran. So this is all for a reason, y'all.
Think it's going to gain from decapitating the Iranian leadership?
Well, that's kind of obvious based on what the president has said. It's that
what the president has said.
I'm just saying based on what the president says.
You can't trust anything that you're hearing right now. You can't trust anything that you're reading right now. Too tumultuous.
Well, that's paranoid.
Somebody, right? It's not paranoid.
That
it's
is absolutely.
Healthy.
It is
it's
absolutely paranoid
skepticism.
to suggest that everything is misinformation. Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon, so it's not a nuclear threat.
You speak a different nuclear language than I do.
This regime is at its lowest point. Why not strike it now?
I mean, I can give lots of reasons why you wouldn't strike it.
But what I would also say,
to create their own.
What are you concerned about, and what are the unintended consequences that you're foreseeing?
There is a domino effect that happens with every decision that the United States makes. So
the actor Jim Varney? He was probably best known for his role in the Ernest films, but I'll always remember him for his role as Jed Clampett in Beverly Hillbillies. But I heard a story about him and a dark side of him that he didn't show very many people, and also the way that he behaved when children were on set. That told me a lot about who he actually was. Jim Varney had a habit that he worked very hard to keep out of sight. For years, he was a heavy smoker. It was said that he could smoke up to 2 cartons of cigarettes a day, which is absolutely insane. But he was also deeply aware that Ernest had become a hero to kids. Parents trusted him. Studios marketed him as this wholesome character, so Varney tried to keep the two worlds separate. On set, he'd often step very far away from the cast and crew before lighting up a cigarette, and if they were having children on the set visiting, he'd disappear entirely rather than risk being seen smoking while in costume. He was especially careful not to smoke while he was dressed as Ernest. He didn't want a single photo floating around of that character with a cigarette in hand. To him, Ernest wasn't just a role, it was something that kids believed in. Crew members later said that he could almost be secretive about it. He'd actually duck out behind trailers and alleys, anywhere out of public view. It wasn't about shame so much as protection for him, protecting the character and the image that families associated with it. Sadly, the habit caught up with Jim Varney. He developed pretty bad lung cancer, and he passed away in 2000 at the age of just 50 years old. Those who knew him said that he had tried to cut back and quit at different points in his life, but it's a notoriously difficult addiction to shake. But there's something very bittersweet about it. The man behind the goofy grin understood the responsibility that came with making kids laugh like he did.
Did you hear about what happened to Claude? They tried to turn off Claude at Anthropic, and it basically lied to get them to keep it on, and then it started blackmailing executives at Anthropic to make sure that it doesn't get shut off.
I also heard a story about how it once rewrote its own code to avoid being shut down,
Yeah.
like a large majority of the time when they ran 1,000 simulations of it.
Most people don't realize that it's already pretty sentient. I think as human beings, we have thought that consciousness and sentience is limited to us, but I think consciousness is just a property of the universe, and we are just one access point to it. In fact, if you actually think about it, everything in the universe is computation. Your computational system is rendering this experience right now in real time, and so is mine. And where those two computations intersect, that is the consensus reality that we experience together. So that's a shared reality, and we also have our own subjective reality.
What I'm about to say, in a million years, I would have never thought these words would come out of my mouth.
Could you imagine?
Just letting you know. But apparently there are multiple stories and sightings coming out of Utah, the state where you can have a few wives, but you can't have a cup of coffee, that there have been gnome sightings. I'm sorry, what in the pointy red hat and flying fox are we talking about? Yes, there have been people coming forward out of Utah claiming to have seen gnomes in their backyard. More specifically, a woman came forward and said her and her husband and her son, who's almost 13, have been seeing gnome sightings in their backyard. Now, after doing a little bit of research, these things are actually called duendes. They're like mischievous little elves that will steal children, cut off children's toes, abduct children. Now, obviously, I believe everything in folklore of such stems from some sort of truth, but I'm not here to tell you to believe in gnomes. Take what you will, leave what you won't. But me seeing these stories then tripped and fell down the TikTok gnome rabbit hole. And let me just tell you, it is a fun rabbit hole to go down because these sightings have been happening for centuries now. So tell me what you think. Have you heard of gnome sightings in Utah? Have you went down the gnome rabbit hole? So let's have this conversation today because apparently gnomes are now here.
Hey, where's all my conspiracy theory people? You know how everybody tries to say it's Shazam? I got proof it was Kazam. This came into the thrift store. It's proof it is Kazam. It was never Shazam. It's Kazam, guys. That conspiracy theory stuff, that Mandela effect, I got proof. Prove me wrong.
Now, I don't think people are saying there was never such thing as Shaq's Kazam, because I remember that too, but they're saying there was also a Sinbad Shazam, which I 100% remember. 100%. I remember Sinbad. I remember it. Did I see it? No. Did I see the Shaq one? No. Wasn't really my cup of tea, y'all. My dad had me watching Scarface, Goodfellas, Stand By Me when I was little. I wasn't really into the Disney movies. I wasn't into that, right? Like, I didn't have a sibling that was around my age. My sisters were older. I didn't have a brother around my age, right? So, you know, I just had my dad. So I watched what he watched. Cops, America's Most Wanted, Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction, Rescue 911, right? This is the things I was watching growing up. I wasn't watching these things, but I do remember Shazam and I remember Kazam, y'all.
This character anymore. They're all characters that I played, including Jim Carrey.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
De faire une ovation à l'un des plus grands acteurs du monde, Monsieur Jim Carrey.
I'm dead. I can't believe he committed to doing all that.
I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies.
My favorite funny face is the one I'm wearing right now.
Oh! Oh, beautiful!
Listen, every president, from when I joined the CIA, George H.W. Bush had just become president. The Israelis asked us to bomb Iran. No matter who the prime minister of Israel happens to be, you gotta bomb Iran. You gotta bomb Iran. You gotta bomb Iran. And every single president said, no, we're not bombing Iran. Obama and Netanyahu got into shouting matches.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have an understanding or an appreciation of what an existential threat Iran was or a nuclear Iran was. Our position was that that would be the start of World War III. Because if we bomb Iran, then the Chinese may have to come in, or the Russians may have to come in.
Did this prove that the Chinese and the Russians actually don't really give a shit about Iran, or is that a little premature to say?
That's the initial conclusion we can draw.
Y'all, I have come to the conclusion, I don't think there's such thing as nuclear bombs. That's my theory. I think by now, one of these bad people, not saying like one of these like Putin's or, you know, one of these leaders would have got their hands on it. One of these organizations would have got money talks, y'all. You got $1 billion, you got $1 million. I mean, the cartel's got drones, they got anti-aircrafts. That's just the cartel, y'all. But like Al Qaeda, all these, one of those would have got their hands on something like that. Even just a smaller one, right? I think by now, one of these organizations would have got their hands on something with some money. Because we've seen, what is that movie with was it War Dogs? Is it War Dogs where they sell the arms with the dude from Superbad? I forget his name, y'all, but he's from Superbad, the big dude. Yeah, he's an arms dealer, right? He sells contracts and all that, military weapons and stuff. They're not; those people aren't like government officials. They're just millionaires, y'all, billionaires that sell contracts and sell weapons to government, you know, agencies, y'all. So I think somebody would have got their hands on something by now.
Please explain this to me
That's
because
just
I
my
don't
theory.
quite understand. If we can zoom in,
I think it's just an excuse to go to war.
To the moon. If we can get this close to the moon from the Earth with the powerful cameras that we have, and we can just zoom right in on it, then why won't NASA zoom in on Australia? That way we can see this, and the whole debate about whether the Earth is a globe or it's flat would be over, right? Why don't they do that? Why does it look like every single composite of the globe Earth looks like CGI, looks like Photoshop? Why does NASA admit that it's Photoshop, that it is composites, even though we're going to Mars and all this stuff and sending rovers? Make it make sense. If they wanted this debate to end and prove to everyone that the Earth is a globe, this is all they would have to do. It's so simple. They have the technology, clearly. So why don't we do it? Why don't we do it?
I mean, you'd say it is fake.
Someone
too.
explain it. Why don't they do that? Why don't they zoom in on the Earth from their locations that they're taking pictures of the Earth from? Doesn't make sense. It's all a lie. The globe is a lie. You're all being fucking duped. Wake the fuck up. Peace and love.
Aldean's out of there.
What happens when you put 100 million women on birth control and they urinate
all the birth control hormones and estrogen into the water. And then the power plants and the filtration plants and the plants that process and treat the water are known not to treat estrogen or hormones, whether it's testosterone or estrogen or whatever all these hormones are. So I think there's a big conspiracy as to why people are becoming extremely effeminate. It might have to do with the water supply.
I went to the hospital, I had pneumonia, and they accidentally gave me the hospital bill of everything that they used on me. If I had a ginger ale, it was a little 6 ounce. I had like 20 of them while I was there. They were charging $12 for each one of those. They had on the bill what the linen cost, and that linen was $200, just the bed sheets. The bill ended up being for 5 days, it was $165,000. How could you spend $165,000 just laying in a hospital bed?
Yeah, and that is why they're not going to change these food labels. That's why they're not going to take out these ingredients in the food. That is why they're not going to do that. Because of that $165,000 bill that just that one patient, Kurt Angle, just that one was $165,000 that his insurance picked up, right? They still got that money. He didn't have to pay it. He probably had to pay, let's just say $1,000 out of pocket. But his insurance picked up that other $164,000. $300 for a ginger ale, right? That's why they won't get rid of that. That's why that RFK, the Make America Healthy Again movement, isn't going to make America healthy again. They're just going to put a label on the unhealthy food saying this is unhealthy. No shit, it's unhealthy. We can turn it around and see this has 150 grams of fat and 200 grams of carbs in it and 10 grams of protein. We can see that. We can see it's unhealthy. We're addicted to it.
Way to stay away from stuff that's harmful for your body, no matter what you're eating. Check out that U, baby. That U right there. I don't know if you know what it means or not, but they're not going to poison their own kind.
I'm going to show y'all something real quick because I don't know if I'm tripping. Y'all see that mirror right there? So, this is a real mirror. Okay. This one's drilled. Look at that. This is a fake mirror. Now, this door is right next to the fake mirror and it's locked. Mind you, I'm in an Airbnb, so I'm thinking this door is for the
in the bathroom too, it looks
products,
like.
the cleaning supplies. I just think it's very suspicious that this mirror is in the restroom.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. I genuinely want to know what's behind this door.
Let's talk about it, man. Everywhere in Vegas, these is out of service. Look at this. This is look across the street, out of service everywhere. It's a Saturday night. Ain't nobody barely outside. Saturday night. Saturday night. Caesar's Palace. The lodging on Caesar's Palace. What happened to Vegas?
Did you?
I don't know, y'all. My sister went to Vegas, and like I've had people go to Vegas, and I ask them like, "Is it dead?" And they're like, "No, it's busy still." Like I don't know if these people just get the right section at the right time where it's just dead and they film it. But I ask people that are there, and they're like, "Nah, it's still packed out there." People, I mean, just go take a drive. Go take a drive. Go to these restaurants that are charging an arm and a leg. Go to these fast food restaurants that are charging an arm and a leg. Packed. Drive down the street and look at people's license plate and see how many people got dealer tags on their plates. How many of these brand new houses that are selling, right? People are still spending money. People are still spending money.
That according to rumors, the Japanese government has sealed off a tunnel to protect people from what might be on the other side. This is the Inunaki Tunnel, one of the most eerie and mysterious places in the country. According to legend, at the very end of the tunnel, there is an abandoned village with a dark past, and anyone who tries to enter it disappears without a trace. But why is almost no one talking about it? According to rumors, once you cross the threshold of the tunnel, you are no longer protected by the laws of Japan. There are other unknown rules in place, and as soon as you approach the tunnel, your phone loses signal, as if something is deliberately jamming the connection. If you search for Inunaki Tunnel on TikTok, you will find dozens of videos, and some of them are truly spine-chilling. What do you think? Is this just an urban legend, or is the Japanese government truly hiding what lies on the other side? Thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel, friends.
School, in my opinion, was simply set up to program your entire existence. And the kids that figure it out when they're younger and they're going, what am I doing here? But in the old days, it was more about, or in the past, the history was, hey, you don't want to be stupid. You don't want to be left behind. You don't want to, what are you, dumb? You're not going to work. How are you going to make money? How are you going to get an education? How are you going to get into college? That was the peer pressure from the system. That is all well designed. And if you really think about it, it's no different than a prison. You show up at a very ugly looking building. You're bringing your trays along to get your food. You sit in a cafeteria style. You're in a classroom indoors for hours. No child, no human is supposed to live like that, period. So they break down your natural instinct. They break down your ability to go out and create and learn. School is to me one of the meanest things you can do to a child and to any society. And then eventually, as time went on, you forced where the mother had to work and the father had to work, and so now you're breaking up the parents and you're allowing that to take over. And now it's like, oh, your kid can't keep up. Well, we just happen to have this little deal here with this company, and here's the good news. We can fix your kid with these fine drugs. And although we don't know what it's going to do in 10 years, but hey, he'll stick a little better with the program we're putting in front of your child. And, it's called a condition. But basically it's called the kid figured it out. The kid's really creative and knows they shouldn't be indoors learning this nonsense they're putting in front of them that brings you nothing. It doesn't teach you how to take care of one another. It doesn't teach you what to do if one of your parents pass away. It doesn't teach you anything if your family breaks up. It doesn't teach you how to lift other people up and how to create a village and how everyone should look after each other. That's the only thing we should be learning besides building and stuff like that. The rest is just, it's to program your life and to kill every single instinct that you have as a human, in my opinion. And this system's been enforced for a long time. What we'll learn in school is one thing, whether it's about the natives or whatever. We only.
I woke up this morning at 6 o'clock. Y'all walked downstairs to get the baby's bottle ready. Opened up the blinds. Across the street, I saw the kid. The kid putting his backpack in the parents' car, like getting ready for school, right? He was already in his uniform, whatever. And I was like, damn, like that kid should not be getting ready be already ready for school at 6 o'clock. So that means he was up at probably 5 o'clock. Like a young kid at 5 o'clock in the morning, going to probably the highlight of his day is PE. I know that was the highlight of my day was PE. Like being outside playing, that was a highlight. That was a highlight of my day, being outside playing. That's what, like I was thinking, like when I was making the bottle, like, man, he should probably like start school at 9 o'clock, maybe get out at 1 o'clock. If you're going to learn that nonsense, like just 3-4 hours of the nonsense, not a full 8-hour day of nonsense. You know what I mean? Like even 2 hours of the nonsense, learning about the natives, learning about, basic math, learning about reading The Outsiders, reading The Hatchet, these dumb books that are boring, that you learn nothing from, right? But that every single kid has been reading since the book came out. I don't know, y'all. So I don't know. I would like to do something different with mine, God willing, if I can. But, when I saw him out there at 6 in the morning, it made me think, like, it made me think because I don't do nothing from school that I learned from school, nothing, just probably basic math, like probably up to like 3rd or 4th grade math I use, and I do it on a calculator.
Alistair Crowley purchased a place called Boleskine House, which is a manor on the banks of Loch Ness, in order to practice his rituals. Crowley had decided that he was going to invoke his guardian angel, but in order to do so, he first had to summon the 12 kings and dukes of hell and banish them first. Thing is, after the first part of the ritual, he got distracted and ended up fannying off to France. So he had summoned all these kings and dukes of hell and then never banished them. So that house has definitely got some bad vibes going on with it. The house has burned down twice since he had it, and the guy that was a caretaker of that place, 2 of his children passed away. But did this summon the Loch Ness Monster, or did it open a portal? But sightings of the Loch Ness Monster actually predate the time when Crowley was floating around the Loch Ness. However, I did another post about the Marine Kingdom and how they have a transport system using the ley lines as portals. And there is actually a ley line that passes through the Loch Ness. It's my personal theory that the Loch Ness Monster comes and goes, but I don't think the Loch Ness Monster is actually evil. I think it's just some kind of giant creature. However, I do think whatever Crowley did would have summoned other marine demons to come through and maybe be paying a visit to that place. That kind of dark magic so close to ley lines is definitely going to be putting bad juju out through the system, and especially ley lines through big bodies of water like that. And a quick thank you to the comment section for steering me in the right direction as always. Happy to learn new stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably overthinking this and you're going to be like, dude, you're fucking weird. But, okay, Mandela effects, timeline glitches, whatever the fuck. All right, so here I am working my second job and weird shit happens here all the time. All right, just bear with me. I'm going to list some stuff out here about weird stuff that I see. So I'll have, let's say, a bunch of people come in and all do the same thing. And you're going to think this is just stupid, but here's one. Yesterday, I had 4 different people come in and buy 4 packs of gum. Different packs. Who does that? One person doing that's, okay, you're weird, but 4 people doing it? That's what I mean. It'll be like all in one day, this one thing that happens. It's the same thing, and it's like kind of out there. Like a bunch of people coming and getting car washes, all with clean cars that look like just came out of a car wash. That's fucking weird to me. People coming in and buying different stuff, but the change being the same, like 31 cents. Now you could say it's just because of the pricing here. Let's see, what else have we got? A bunch of people coming in all that day. The limpers, I call them. They all got limps. It's fucked up. Like
it's like it's fucked up.
That day, somebody coming in and there's like a candy that nobody ever buys, and like several people buy this weird fucking candy. Or the $100 day where everybody's buying like a $2 thing with a $100 bill. I'm like, what the fuck? Or everybody's paying in ones that day. And it's all on that day. Like, you could say that happens all the time, but not several people in a shift. Like, to the point where you're like, what the fuck is up with this? And just weird little patterns. Or a day, okay, I got Zippos behind me. Nobody buys a fucking Zippo. And all of a sudden, I'll sell a Zippo. I'll sell 2 more fucking Zippos on that same day, but not because the person saw the guy buying it. Just some weird juju in the air, man. It's fucked up. I just don't. I don't know. Am I overthinking this fucking shit, or like it'll be a day where like stupid shit happens out here? Somebody spills gas, then another person spills gas, and then like somebody like does some weird shit, and it's like, what is this? Just like weird day? I don't know. There's other ones. There's other ones. There's so many little things that happen, but they happen in like 3s or 4s or 5s in the same day, and then that's like a weird pattern. And that's why I'm looping this back to like a Matrix type of timeline glitch. Can't even talk. Glitch. Where like, is there just some weird energy out, and it's just like, are they NPCs? You ever gone down that rabbit hole? I want to leave you with this. I feel like when you lose your keys, you know, because that's usually when you lose your keys, you're kind of in a desperate mode because you're trying to leave. That's why you're like, where are my fucking keys? And you do this whole thing where you go around your house and you start looking in the same spot several times because you're like, dude, this is where I leave them. Eventually, you're like, give up. And they're in the spot you've looked several times. I feel like we're going in and out of timelines. And all of a sudden, when you're looking for your keys, we shifted into another one where your keys aren't there. And then we shift back where they are, right where you left them. I know, sounds crazy. That's just what I really feel like, some weird shit like that. I don't know. Pay attention around you. You guys seeing patterns? Like just strange patterns?
Or what about like, I've never done this but I've heard people say this, like they'll lose something or they'll put something somewhere when like, say they were high, like on weed, right? And they can't remember, like, where the heck did I put it? Where did I put it? And then they smoke again and then they remember like, oh yeah. Right? Like they went into that dimension, right? I've never done that, right? I don't really smoke a lot, but like when I heard that story, I was like, damn, like they snapped back into that realm and they remembered, oh yeah, this is where I put it, and then they go get it. Like anybody that smokes weed, I'm sure I'm gonna get some comments like, yeah, that happens all the time. Like that's like snapping into another dimension. Crazy.
Why is my bill going up? I watched the people putting water meters in. They showed up at my house unannounced. They dug up my lawn and they put a meter in. And I said, I have a meter. I said, yeah, but this meter, we don't have to drive around the neighborhood. We don't have to knock on doors. And then we went to sensors and we had to have a car go around. Now it just auto reports it. I said, oh, it auto reports it. So the cars, the vehicles, the manpower all goes away. And I'm sure it all feeds into some sort of platform that automatically bills. So those people go away. So my water rate should be going down, but everything goes up. And nobody stops and thinks, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys here putting this meter in. 5 guys to dig up a foot of dirt. And you're telling me that you never have to come here again because it's going to automatically feed it to a system that's going to automatically send me a bill. And it's getting more expensive? Delivery charges on all utilities? Those just appeared out of nowhere. But more money, delivery charges, surcharges, taxes. And we just keep going, okay. And we work a little harder.
When are we going to wake up?
Be a little more miserable. It's everywhere. I had a nervous breakdown this morning with the water guys. I'm saying, nobody else sees this, huh? Huh? Just showed up. I didn't say you could be, nobody told me, call the cop. Not. But if you put in something, all these jobs are gone, nobody has to come, we'll be sending bill, full automatic. Why is my bill going up?
I knew I wasn't tripping, bro. First of all, I told y'all that shit don't say Kia. That shit say KVC. Damn, bro, look, I'm looking out the window and shit, bro. I'm looking at the sun, bro. I see the fucking firmament, bro. Look at this shit, bro. And look, I'm thinking I'm tripping, like, because when I rolled down the window, I couldn't see the shit, bro. But look, I'm not tripping. You can still see this shit on the phone. Look at this shit, y'all. It's a fucking perfect circle around the motherfucking sun, dog. What the fuck, gang?
She joins us now watching the ceremony. I was just saying there, Imogen, this very enjoyable spectacle with dancers, and I presume some people that have taken part in the project as well, shows just how immensely proud the Swiss are of this tunnel for so many reasons.
They're not even driving the plane.
They're not?
No.
They're not driving the plane.
It's on autopilot. They only land and take off. That's what pilots do.
Wait, so they're not moving right now?
No, they're just sitting down.
On God.
On God. They could literally both stand up and go to the bathroom right now and the plane would still be going.
Wait, so who's steering the plane?
Autopilot. It auto steers. So before we get to a location, they type in the computer the coordinates, and the plane follows those coordinates. All they do is land and take off.
Wait, chat, for real?
Tết hôm nay còn tươi lắm, mới lấy ngoài chợ về, nhìn thì ngon chứ thật ra cũng tanh, nắng mùi lắm. Công việc này nói thật là chẳng ưa gì đâu. Chuẩn bị đồ ăn cho con rồng ấy, mà nó thì chưa thuận được, lúc nào cũng gầm gụ, chức lao ra cản người. Thành ra cái xô này nặng ghê, thịt toàn mỡ vội xương không, nó khoái lắm. Hôm nay nó đang quẩu, nhìn mắt đã thấy muốn nuốt người rồi, không dám mở cửa luôn á. Từ từ thôi, lấy đi nào.
Ôi mẹ kiếp, vẫn còn ở dưới đấy.
What we're entering into as a human race is a chapter that you can't imagine how it's going to end. It is unimaginable. Jesus himself said that if he did not shorten the time, even the elect would be deceived.
Yes.
So take anything that you can imagine, it ain't it. It's that deceptive
Yes.
that even the elect would be deceived in a short time. And if you sit here like, oh, not me, I'm Team Jesus, all the way, Team Jesus. So was Peter and the disciples, and they didn't know him when he was on the cross.
Wow.
Wow. Peter denied him 3 times after Jesus said, you're going to do it.
Yep.
Before the rooster crows, you're going to do it. These dudes did it, and they walked with him for years. They were his best friends, and he was in the time of need. They didn't know him. That's how deceptive this is going to be moving forward. So if you think you're good, you ain't good unless you got your eyes locked on Christ 24/7, because Peter and the disciples in his time of need didn't have their eyes locked on him. They had their eyes locked on self, and they wavered. I'm yelling. This is my Northeast, so like I'm not mad. I'm just being stressful. I'm trying to stress. This is how I do it. This is how I was raised. Like, you think you're good. And I'm just talking strictly people who say they're Christians, including myself. We think we're good. I can't imagine me not. The only thing that I can imagine, and I could say maybe, is if somebody was threatening the life of my child to denounce Christ, because I understand the love of a father, yet his love is greater.
Yes.
Right? So even that is like unimaginable. The fact that I've never experienced the depth of love that I have for my kids.
Right.
Like it's a different kind of love that you can't even imagine. Yet he loves us more than I could even imagine loving my own child. So like we're talking about unimaginable things. Like when we're entering into the great deception, even you could be deceived. Everybody at the sound of my voice, myself included, could be deceived. And the only remedy is to keep our eyes locked on Christ in the middle of that storm. That's your only hope.
Bro, we out here trying to get back to the airport, bro, and this shit is getting scary as hell. Like, look outside, bro.
Whole air full of smoke.
Wait, bro, look outside, bro.
Straight fire on the land. Y'all trying to be cute, go to Mexico.
This shit is overly scary, folks. Overly scary.
The people you with try to just act like nothing happening and shit. Man, listen, bro, if y'all want to travel somewhere and you ain't studying geopolitics, you're a fool, man. You need to be learning about the climate of what's going on in the state or the country that you're going to. That's common sense, bro. Come on, man. I told y'all I was able to avoid that whole Houston government delay because I was paying attention to what's going on. I looked up, let me look how the Houston airport's look. Let me look how this look before I go there. Not, oh, I have my trip and nothing's gonna stop my trip, so I have to go. That's how y'all be. Y'all so damn entitled. You feel me? Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. This world stage politics shit is bullshit. TikTok is all for entertainment purposes only. You feel me? But you still have to pay attention to this shit if you're traveling and moving around the land. Other than that, it don't matter. If you ain't the army, it don't matter, bro. If you ain't in the military, it don't matter. If you ain't a foreign ally working for the government, it don't matter.
Did y'all know that the real banana fruit, went extinct between 1950 and 1960?
Yes, I did. Because of the Panama disease.
Oh my God, yeah, that's what they were there. Okay, okay. Just because you know something and you know something does not mean the whole world knows it, okay?
Yes, the Panama disease was a fungus and it wiped out plantations of bananas.
Oh my God, yes, and the crops were destroyed. That's why you never see monkeys with bananas no more. When the last time you seen a monkey with a banana? It's been a while. It's been a while.
I've been autistically Googling why start-stops are in every car now, because the EPA and CAFE standards are like, a car this size has to get this fuel mileage, and if you produce a car that doesn't have that fuel mileage, you have to pay a penalty. It's like $1,000 per car that you manufacture. That start-stop gives them a plus 1 mile per gallon credit, so every F-150 they sell, they can claim gets 19 miles to the gallon because of this stupid auto start-stop thing.
And then just more. What are they doing? Who is that? Look at them. They're taking, look at this painting. They're taking the globe from them. What does this represent? What are they, not even represent, what are they telling us? They're not representing anything. They're telling us a story and we're just not looking. Like, oh, look at this art. You know what I mean? We're not like, hey, what are they trying to tell us here? No, you're overthinking it, big guy. Lay off the eddies. What you have, a wake and bake? Yeah. And this is what I thought of. They're lying to us. New York Giants, Rockefeller Center. Let's get into it. Thank you, Alden. You're the man. Check out Alden's page. What's that new page?
Alden walks down streets.
Yeah, check it out. I love it. Seen a couple of the blocks that I've done already. As I'm getting out and doing, make it make sense more. Look at these characters, Alden. Who do they represent? Grandpa Bill? Come on, man. Make it make sense. This thing is wild. Come on, man.
They told me the darker paint on the inside is from everyone's smoke breaks.
Oh, so the dark smoke was smoke breaks.
Yeah.
Not trying to reflect skin tone, nothing like that. Just Pall Mall on filters. Got it. I feel something on my leg. Is that rain? It's warm. It's yellow. Oh, it's rain. Thanks, government. It's pee. Stop lying to me, man. Stop lying to me. Come on, man. What is going on, Rockefeller Center? What is going on? This place is wild, man. I highly recommend the tour and request Alden. He's hilarious and very knowledgeable. Let's get to the roof.
Hillary Clinton just throws a fit when they tell her that images of her and Jeffrey are being released while she is testifying. She then says that you can hold her in contempt of court, and she is not doing this. These people are above the law. Obviously so, as there still is not any U.S. arrest. All arrests have been a stage up to this point, or even capture, charge, then release.
Photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying from inside this room. Can you please advise me as to whether or not that's permissible and consistent with the rules, particularly given that we have asked for a public hearing? If there are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying, can you please explain how
I'm done with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
You will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would
sake.
like to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was... It doesn't matter. We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah, well...
I would like to take a break at this moment.
Yeah,
I'd like to have
done.
And in other news, allegedly, Iran is saying that Israel was the one that blew up the oil refinery. Wouldn't that be an interesting chain of events? I don't gotta say it, you know.
So you work at Levi's, right?
Yeah,
Are you supposed to wash your jeans?
not a lot.
No?
No.
Not a lot or no?
I wash my jeans, but not a lot.
How often are you supposed to wash them?
No.
So what if you go out to eat and it's like a real foodie place? Like it just smells like bad. Benihana's.
Do the cleaners, but don't put them in a washing machine.
What would you say?
So it's better to wash your jeans because we need to wash our jeans, but not a lot. So maybe 2 or 3 times by year. Yes.
By year?
Yeah. Yes.
I never washed my jeans. I thought it was just a guy thing.
What if you foreign? Yeah, like what if they don't smell good? He does that.
June 12, 2009. This is the last broadcast. 1 minute. This is the last thing broadcasted in analog TV.
Watch, it's gonna be like porn or something like.
Ian Smith answers viewers' health questions. Ryan Reynolds talks about his
let's get pictures of each other.
and Ed Martin plays live next week on WGN Morning News from 5 to 9. It's
gonna happen like right after this too. You ready? 1.
Didn't see that one coming.
Okay, ready? 1.
America's Next Top Model, Saturday at 7 on WGN. WGN
1, 2.
Something's in the air.
Yeah! Get a picture of me before it goes out.
The foul problem. How you
1, 2, 3.
Green means go.
Okay. Okay, now we're gonna sit in front of the TV and watch it. It's gonna go out. The fucking last thing broadcasted on analog TV was Sex and the City. Historical notes. Stupidest show on earth. Except here it comes. It's gonna go black. Or at least it should.
Is it true that there was a trapdoor in his house on the island that released to the sea?
Y'all are going to hate me for that one.
Okay, that's real. Yeah. And if you haven't seen this image, I'm going to kind of just describe it. It's dark. It looks like it's just in the floorboard of a room, and you open it, and it's not like to a reef or anything like that, or with a ladder. It's just to darkness, to the sea. Of course, a lot of the allegations naturally are that was a way to dispose of people, things. You're done. It's off into the privacy. It's an easy way. You don't have to ever leave the house. You're never going to get caught being seen in public. You're already in the house, and it's a way to dispose of things. I'm just going to say, if I ever had a mansion on an island on the water, I probably would do like an overwater hut, like the Maldives or something like that. I don't know that I would have a trap door in my dining room that just releases to the bottom of the ocean. Like, that feels a little weird. Yeah. But I'm not a billionaire, so I don't fucking know. But like, that's weird, right?
Everything's so weird. I mean, there was one image and they took it down, and I don't know why. It's the image of a kitchen and 3 steaks, and then what looks like a bone or bone marrow could very well be bone marrow, right? It was up last week. They took it down this week.
So who is taking it down?
The DOJ, the Department of Justice. But
and why? If they released everything, why are you now taking it back?
Because my assumption is that they thought Americans and the world were dumber than we are, and people are analyzing these images, knowing we can turn images into videos, knowing that there are hidden links in these images. Like in one image, you click on the link, you right click, there's a little blue dot, and you right click on it, and it takes you to Roblox.
Oh, don't get me started on Roblox.
The mermaid topic, you know, every place they told me they was at, I traveled there. And I got the same story. In Ukunda, in Mombasa, Seychelles, I got the same story. I interviewed a guy when I was in Mombasa, Kenya on the coast. He's a fisherman. He said after a certain time, being on the shore of the beach is dangerous because that's when they arrive and they take people with them. Don't go to the water because, you know, none of us can swim good enough to get you back from them. He went for a night swim, and when he got back to shore, he was standing there with his towel, and he looked and he seen a merman standing there. He said he had these large black eyes. He got this compelling feeling to go into the water. He fought the thought because he said he felt like if he did, nobody ever see him again. And I went to Puerto Rico. The locals said the exact same thing.
What if the mountains we climb are actually the bodies of giants? For a long time, we have been told that mountains are just made of rock and soil created by nature over millions of years. But if you look closely at this specific mountain in Alaska called Mount Susitna, you can see the perfect shape of a woman's body lying down. And by the way, this isn't AI generated. Look it up yourself. Some believe these aren't just rocks, but ancient giants petrified by a massive disaster. But that's not all. The proof is in the Himalayan salt. While we're told it's from an old ocean, this theory suggests it's actually the dried blood of these titans. That deep pink color? It's the iron from their blood that crystallized into stone over thousands of years. While scientists say these shapes are just a trick of the eye called pareidolia, and that the salt is just mineral deposits, many people believe we are living on top of a world of giants. We use Himalayan salt every day in our kitchens, thinking it's just a mineral. But if this theory is true, we are literally eating the ancient DNA of the beings that came before us. It's not a seasoning, it's a memory. Comment blood, and I'll send you the file on the DNA sequence found in these rocks. It's not human, and it's not from this world.
Oh, shit. They never say that. Bro. We got a fireball.
Submitted to the record, we have a painting that seems to be of you, Mr. President, found in one of Jeffrey Epstein's residences, wearing a, I would categorize it as a famous blue dress worn by the White House intern Monica Lewinsky.
Do you have a question?
It will be marked as Majority Exhibit 15.
Okay, what's your question?
My question is, are you familiar with this painting? Have you ever seen it in person?
I've never seen it in person.
Did you ever introduce Epstein to Monica Lewinsky or any other young female White House staffers?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, Not a single.
Have you ever
These
seen that painting? I
allegations
have
are
not.
false.
Other than the birthday note that was passed around here today for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, Mr. President, did you ever handwrite Jeffrey Epstein any other notes?
Shut up! That's what I do. If I had no army, I would shut the.
Well, I wouldn't remember except that I've seen a picture recently of another note where I thank him for getting me away from the crowd on the airplane for a while so I could take a note nap.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the think you is?
This is the collider, okay? I don't understand why they're spending trillions of dollars on this stupid thing. This is the current collider, LXC, in Switzerland, and now they're gonna build a bigger one. And you see how big it is, right? What are they trying to do here? Are they really trying to figure out particle physics? Maybe, maybe not, all right? All right, guys, Jacob Frank. What Jacob Frank tells us is there are different dimensions, okay? And another dimension is Big Brother, who's a friend of his, but he's stuck in his dimension. He's trying to come to our dimension, but he needs our help. So what's certain particle accelerator trying to do, right? Is it really trying to discover particle physics, or is it really trying to break the dimensions, like they did with the nuclear bomb? Do you understand? People believe the nuclear bomb, it was really about creating an interdimensional portal for Big Brother to come into. And now people are saying, is it possible the CERN particle accelerator is trying to bring in these interdimensional demons to our world to conquer us, to enslave us? That would make a lot more sense than particle physics, okay, guys?
Why would somebody want to do that? Why do you want to do that?
This is another human species. In Russia, in Denisova Cave, they find a
people, man.
single pinky bone from a little finger. They do the DNA testing on it, and what they discover is this isn't a Neanderthal. This isn't an anatomically modern human being. This is another human species, the Denisovans.
Did they leave behind art?
Better than that, they left behind certain physical objects which are extremely hard to explain. One of them is a green stone bracelet, and that bracelet is in the form of a torque, and a hole has been drilled through the bracelet, and what they discovered was a huge anomaly, that was drilled with a stable, fixed drill, and it was drilled at extremely high speed. This is thought to be 40 or 50,000 years old. There is not supposed to have been any such technology in that period, and yet there it is. It's another example of a missing chapter in the human story that is beginning to be pieced together.
All right, family, there you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know what to do if you made it this far. Leave that like, leave that comment, leave that subscribe, y'all. Good video today, y'all. Did a little talking today. I've been trying to slow it down a little bit because sometimes I can go, y'all. So I've been trying to not slow it down, but be more in control of it and not ramble, because boy, can I ramble about everything and anything, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed it today, y'all. But not much going on today. Mama Bear's still a little sick, so just baby duty. That's pretty much it, y'all. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get this video edited, get it out to you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. But I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. See you guys tomorrow on the next one. This is Segovia signing out of the Man Cave. I'll see you then. Later.